Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 21 of the Red Force Podcast.
The Red Force Podcast.
The Red Force Podcast, yes.
It's been 22 weeks, and Eric still doesn't know the name of this podcast.
Indeed. My name is Eric Tolato. Joining me today is Christian Tolato.
Hello.
Now, Christian, we have been punished by the gods.
No chapter this week.
No chapter this week, but we
I don't know it.
Christian had it early before anyone.
I don't know
He
it.
was on top of the ball.
I
long
was there long before the others.
before. Yes, with the
Delivering the news.
hot, spicy,
Content.
quick news. Now, Christian, quiet week, I'd say.
Yeah. You know,
Not much conversation around last chapter because everyone's like, alright, well, I want to see more.
I've seen a couple things around it.
You know, the standard how strong he is videos and, you know, what will Dragon do at the Reverie, you know.
I've heard thoughts. You know, I've heard some people's reasonings why maybe the chapter feels a bit lackluster.
Give me some thoughts, quickly, just quickly.
Just quickly on last week again.
Just
the way the community's feeling. I think it comes down to they were introduced all in the matter of like 3 pages,
okay.
and they didn't get enough room to breathe.
All right.
Because you know we talked about this last week, right? Katakuri got a whole chapter to be introduced.
Christian, I have thoughts on that.
They just don't feel like big deals.
You know, because I reread the first 5 volumes of One Piece, well, after Syrup Village ends, from the start to Syrup Village.
Yep.
And I got some notes on Oda's style. And
What's the early style?
And how he learns how to write manga. Interesting transformation before my eyes when I read it.
Yeah, well, he's new, he's learning, he's young.
Character work. We'll get into it. Christian, for the people, on the docket today we got some spicy stuff. Christian's written a manifesto.
Because we always talk about how One Piece is about freedom.
Yeah.
We never go deeply into it. So I've written just my thoughts about maybe what Oda's trying to say.
Okay.
My interpretation of what Oda's trying to say.
Yeah.
With the freedom theme. Might get a little bit controversial.
Alright.
But it's my thoughts on the information I have. So.
And we have a review, reflection, recap, retrospective.
On the first 5
volumes. Very interesting insight.
We also have How Strong is Shanks.
Always.
And the Power Scale. And the Question Corner.
Christian, interesting questions this week. Not that many questions, but content heavy nonetheless.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm seeing less questions than the weeks before.
Well, I think it's because of the chapter.
Yeah, the chapters, you know, whatever. But if you want to throw questions in the comment section below, do that. You want to throw topic of the show ideas, throw them in there.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, because we're you know, I'm going to be honest, 22 weeks in, we're kind of struggling to come up with topics of the show.
What do you mean? We got a fantastic topic of the show this week.
We do.
We struggle to come up with topic of the show because there's no chapter.
Alright.
Alright?
But it can't be what's one are going to be every week, you know what I mean?
I mean, it could be. We could talk about how Rob Luch is a great character every week. We could do that. But we won't.
We'll do that question of the Question Counter from Andre. He was late last week.
He was late.
Yeah, so I remember his question.
Alright.
Christian, how's the anime this week?
You know, it's pretty good. Pretty good anime.
Not bad.
Not bad.
It's fine.
Where is Natoshi?
Okay.
Natoshi has been missing from the anime.
Katakuri fight should start in a few months.
When did he leave? When was the last time we got Natoshi?
Long time ago.
Was it the Cream Brothers fight at the end?
Maybe. There was a few scenes in the jail where Natoshi turned up for 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's true.
My favourite thing.
When Natoshi turns up for 2 seconds for a drawing, steals and then disappears.
No, my favourite thing is when the scenes about the climax, and Natoshi was given
Appears,
when
yeah.
Natoshi was given 2 shots, they're like, oh shit, here we go, the action's gonna be Natoshi style.
For those who don't know, Natoshi is the guy who draws the really good One Piece animation in the anime.
Yeah.
He's got that like swoopy whoopy style,
Fluid.
super detailed.
So fluid, you lose all impact.
Eric claims, but I like it.
But very fluid indeed.
It's very good for One Piece. Doesn't work so well for Dragon Ball.
Very Disney-esque, I'd say.
Doesn't work for Dragon Ball.
No,
would you say?
Definitely not.
So Natoshi's, Toei's top guy.
Done Marco the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Done Rayleigh coming in against Kizaru.
Done
Old
Gear
school
4
guy.
transformation.
That guy. You know who he is.
The guy who does the top quality animation.
Yes.
So where is he? He must be found.
He's probably working on a movie or,
Katakuri fight.
Katakuri fight, probably.
Who knows? Alright.
That Katakuri fight is built for that man.
Indeed. Crazy powers that can bend. Luffy, Katakuri.
Speaking of the Katakuri fight, I can't wait for all the Snake Man merch.
It's gonna be cool.
Do you think that thing's made of fire? Because we saw volume 89.
We did. A bit of news.
A little bit hot, that steam.
I think it is a little fiery.
Spicy.
So, do you want to get into the show?
Christian, let's get into the review-ish thing we do.
The review.
Hello, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick announcement. This episode is fucked visually. So, as you can see, I'm trying to edit the entire timeline. And we have multiple cuts on the sound and video edits. The video, for some reason, keeps on skipping along with the audio. Not sure why, but sometimes this happens once or twice during the video. In this section, it skips.
Flesh out a villain and flesh out some kind of villain crew members.
It's already late at night. I'm trying to edit this out. What's going to happen is I'm probably going to keep what I've done and then just put an image or something over the top so you don't get distracted by the horrendous out of sync voice to the video, because this will take a good 3 or 4 hours. So apologies, just to let you know that's why I've done it. I'll see what I can save. Appreciate the support and the effort that goes into you guys watching and commenting. Cheers. Hope you enjoy the content in the video this week. It's pretty good. Christian, I started this thinking Sur Village, fuck me.
Yeah.
But
Can we just get this out? Worst arc in the series.
maybe, but I have thoughts on the Sur Village, not as bad as you'd think.
Okay.
We start, Christian, Romance Dawn.
Of course, the first chapter.
I wrote copious notes on Romance Dawn and then not much on everything else. Just sizzles.
All right.
Because Romance Dawn very important. So we open with Luffy on the Red Force, stabbing himself in the face,
Indeed.
trying to prove that he's a tough man, that he wants to join Shanks' ship. Not tough enough, Shanks says.
Yes.
They're all shocked that he did it. He cuts himself, and then we cut to the bar. Mm-hmm. Classic bar scene. Luffy eats the devil fruit, bandits come in, etc., etc. Interesting tidbit. The bar scene has a shot where all the Shanks pirates, the redhead pirates, are dancing. Mm-hmm. Most of those characters are indeed in Marineford.
Indeed.
And a few others throughout the chapter are definitely filling those gaps. So that all the characters that you see in Marineford, when Shanks turns up to stop the war, are indeed old school crew members.
That's right.
Every single one of them.
The hype, man.
So,
You got
exciting
Benny,
times.
You got Lucky Roo.
Yeah.
You got Crazy Monkey Man.
Yeah.
You got Crocodile Man. You got Bomb Hat Guy.
Shanks, he's always talking about how important swimming is to the crew and being a pirate.
Does any of his crew members have devil fruits?
Probably
His main crew.
I'd say no.
No. All Haki. All Power.
Indeed. Bandits come in. They're like, we want the sake, we want the alcohol. Shanks is like, we drank it all, but you can have this. Bandits not happy. smashes the bottle over Shanks.
What? Is this bandit even thinking?
8 million berry man.
Terrible.
8.
Terrible. Absolute goon.
Has the moniker the bear. Idiot.
Idiot.
Shanks, of course, doesn't defend himself because he's such a chump. Luffy very upset. Now, this is the thing about Shanks and Beckman that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Ben Beckman, a very brutal man. Is he trying to scare Luffy? Or is this how Ben Beckman is? He's talking about being a captain is a lot of work. Shanks has got a lot on the plate. He's got to take hostages. He's got to, pillage. He specifically says pillage and take hostages. Thoughts?
He's a pirate, man. That's what it's gonna, he's gonna do.
Do we think Shanks? Because we all think Shanks is a nice pirate, good guy. But in this chapter specifically, we see his brutal hard edge when it comes to piracy. He's not fucking around.
The Straw Hats take hostages.
Sorta, I guess.
He's a clown, not a hostage. Very much a hostage.
Yep. Do they pillage?
Skypiea. They steal. I guess that's kind of pillaging.
Yeah.
Do they set buildings on fire? Sometimes.
Okay.
So, you could make the argument.
Now, chapter 1, Oda's fire lighting is here.
Yes.
Ben Beckman lights a cigarette.
Well, that's a very detailed shot because it's the first chapter.
Hard shadow.
Gets
But rebuttal.
a lot of time.
Buggy the Clown arc. House is burning down.
Shadow.
There. Where did the fire effects disappear, Oda?
Maybe it was just that AEST thing.
Maybe.
Just wanted to, because he's a Logia, maybe, I don't know.
Okay. Interesting thought. He had those techniques.
Of course, he's a professional.
He's a professional, man. Do I like... Let's finish Red Bedstone and we can talk about the art style. Okay.
Luffy eats devil fruit.
Luffy eats the devil fruit and it's from specifically an enemy ship. He didn't have it from Roger. He didn't have it on his ship. They got it from an enemy ship in the East Blue. They must be in the East Blue after the last voyage.
Okay.
Maybe not, but they go on voyages. This town, they've been here for 1 year.
Mm-hmm. So, we already done this theory on the world's worst theory.
Yes.
It will be coming back.
It will come back when we're light on content.
It'll come back.
Or if you have
a really dumb theory.
If you're keen on a really specific theory that you want us to tackle,
we'll do it.
put it in the comment
World's
section.
worst theory.
There's a few theories out there on the comment sections already, but they're very much grand picture. I think this is going to be the final war, etc., etc.
I mean, they're plausible theories. The world's worst theory is for theories that are so stupid.
Like
that, how could they
Kizaru's Vegapunk. Like
Bella Betty's Luffy's mother.
Bella Betty's a man.
I mean, it could happen.
Anyway.
How about Mihawk has a...
Do you want to finish your thought on bringing up the world's worst theory?
Yes.
Yes.
Roger did not have the Gum fruit.
Correct.
Debunked in the first chapter. Stop talking about it. This is not true.
Alright, so... we get the scene.
The classic scene.
Where, well, first of all, we get a little scene after this bar scene.
Mm-hmm.
Bar scene mirroring Jaya beautifully. Nami is the exact copy of Luffy when Luffy was a child.
Exactly.
Okay? Now, we get a little scene of Luffy going to the fishmongers. And they ask, aren't you going to see Shanks off on his voyage? Luffy very upset, saying, I don't want to see those guys. I thought they were tough. He's just a dumb child. He's talking to Monaco. Or Monica. Monaco. And she says, Luffy, there's more to being a man. And Luffy's like, no, there's not. You don't know what a real man's like. And she's like, oh, I guess you're right then. You know? Bandits come back.
What does a 15-year-old girl know about being a man?
15.
She's like 15, 16.
Let's call it 16. I don't want no nonsense, if you get my meaning.
Let's not get into this.
Let's call it 18.
Alright.
Just for me. Now, Christian,
Some might say.
So this
some
small,
might say 15.
this small scene absent from the anime gives immense context to this. Luffy very upset at Shanks for not fighting back, and it's different to the anime, of course.
Well, I think the anime changed the opening of One Piece the most.
Yeah,
Because they didn't start with the flashback.
indeed.
They started with Luffy punching the.
It started with Alvida.
Alright?
Uh-huh.
Luffy bursting out of the barrel.
Yeah, pretty much started with that when he leaves the town. Yeah. So, a little bit of time passes after the bar. Shanks is about to leave. They've already left.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they've already left, but someone says they've already left. Luffy, well, Monaco goes to Mayor Woolslap. Luffy's in trouble. Luffy, bandits in the middle of the square fighting.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh shit, Luffy's done fucked up now." Villagers won't help him because like Luffy, he gets in a lot of trouble. He started it. Alright, they're all afraid of this chump bandit. Alright? Now, Shanks turns up out of nowhere. And he's like, no one was at the port to see us off, so I thought something was up. He teleports into the scene, Christian.
Classic Shanks fashion.
Indeed.
He always teleports in. Marineford teleports in. Here, teleports in. Every time he's needed, he teleports in.
And
What?
Shanks mentions that Luffy reminds him just like he was when he was a kid.
That's right.
Alright? So we get to see Shanks saves Luffy, Ben Backman fucks these clowns up.
Of course.
Cigarette in the face.
The strongest right-hand man.
The butt of the weapon hits him in the head.
The strongest right-hand man.
Do you think we'll see a Haki cigarette burn someone? At some point.
I think he's gonna light. He's gonna use his Haki sparks to light the cigarette.
The cigarette. Ooh. That's a new level. He's gonna use his Conqueror's Haki sparks to light the cigarette.
Yeah. That's all we'll see.
That'd be very nice. Now, so Bandit smoke bomb. Luffy's on the seas.
Mm-hmm.
Alright? Mm-hmm. Throws the kid off the shores. Throws Luffy into the water. Shanks again. And I know where saves Luffy.
Very fast swimmer.
Alright? And we don't know how far away he is from the village. Could be multiple kilometers.
Interesting note.
Yes.
Did Shanks have observation Haki at this point? Did
He found Luffy and saved him very quickly. Off by the Sea King. Contentious. Stupid people bring this up all the time.
I think it's more contentious that he didn't sense the bandit in the smoke.
They don't bring that up. They bring up the arm. Now, Christian, Shanks is so strong, right? He says, it's not a big deal, it's just one arm. He doesn't need...
He's more important.
He doesn't need the arm, Christian.
No, he doesn't.
If he had two arms, he would be ridiculously overpowered.
No, he would be the same strength because it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Shanks is God King.
So, Shanks' arm is gone. They leave town shortly after. Luffy's like, I want to make my own crew. I want to surpass you clowns. And we're going to be the king of the pirates.
That's right.
And Shanks says, oh, in that case, take this hat. And we get that scene. That beautiful scene.
The classic scene, man. It's just fucking classic.
The scene that'll return in another few years when Shanks and Luffy meet.
That's right.
Christian, what a scene it is. And then, we get Luffy leave the town, chapter's over. That's the first chapter.
What a great first chapter.
Now, let me explain what I think about Oda's art.
Okay.
Would I like to see One Piece in this art still? I want to say yes.
Yes.
This art is so unique, and the level of character he gets in the facial expression alone is very good.
He still gets the level of deep expression.
He does, but it's more...
Alright, chapter 1's a different story because he had literally 3 months to get that right before it went to publishing.
I enjoy the style. It keeps it light. It keeps it light,
Well, we're in a different start.
keeps it
We're in a different
fun.
stage of the story.
And this is what One Piece is about, ladies and gentlemen.
But the art style should reflect the themes.
Sure.
And we're in the new world, a little bit darker than the start of One Piece.
Okay.
Would you say? A little more serious.
Indeed. Now, I will add, Lucky Roo fucks this dude up
Yeah,
with
you
a gun.
fucking shoot him in the head.
I don't know her again.
Headshots his...
How fast are these people, Christian?
Headshots him.
Brutal.
Dead.
We're not saints. Or holy men, as they say.
They're pirates.
How brutal is this pirate crew? You fuck with them, and they're gonna fuck you up?
That's right.
Interesting. I don't know what Shanks' philosophy is on the seas.
Just the philosophy of,
Being a holy man.
bit of diplomacy, bit of pacifism.
Yeah.
A bit of, you attack me, well, you attacked me. I have to attack back. He's not going to go out of his way to attack someone.
Luffy leaves the town and says, I think 10 men will do. Should do. We're almost at 10 men, Christian.
Did you say 10 men or 10 people?
10 men.
I
Referring crew members.
Okay.
But there it is. I'm not hung up on gender when he's using men. When he's talking about a crew.
Well, I'm just going to make the argument that there could be more people.
He says should. It's not a set number. Anyway.
People want to say it's a set number.
Okay. How many you want now, Christian?
We have 9, not including
Luffy.
He's
Jinbei.
a third member.
You can Jinbei?
Am I counting Jinbei? Is he in colour spreads? No, he's not.
Okay.
So not official yet, but still official enough.
So we have one member.
Crew member elect,
Yeah.
we would say.
Okay.
Jinbei is the crew member elect.
So that's 9.
Get to have the celebration,
Yeah.
making him a crew member.
So that's 9.
Jinbei the 10th.
Jinbei the 10th.
There we go, that's the crew.
People talking about Carrot. Okay.
It's possible.
Alright. These are thoughts.
I'm saying Carrot's possible. I don't know why you hate Carrot so much.
I mean, whatever. She's a whatever character. She's not a crew member worthy, you know.
I would say the same thing about Robin when she was introduced.
We open with Alvida. Very long joke by Oda, about 4-page joke. Talking about how she wants her ship very clean. How she wants nothing wrong with her crew. She's so beautiful. Just her face. Very tight. Camera shot on the face.
Yeah, just so you can't see.
So you can't see her body. And then you see her body and it's very funny. There it is. Kobe, dumb piece of shit.
I have interesting notes in the little manifesto later on.
Yes.
About Kobe.
Kobe very dumb. He's a stupid kid. Luffy is like, what are you talking about, kid? It's about doing what you want. You can't have fear. You've been here 2 years.
What are you doing?
And Christian, in this arc, this very short arc, a chapter long, we get the first instance of Zoro hype. They say he's a walking demon. Everyone's afraid of him. But he's been captured by the Navy.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Was Sanji mentioned in the second chapter of One Piece?
I believe not.
Was Sanji the first member of the crew?
No.
Oh.
Wasn't even the second.
Yeah, okay.
Wasn't even the third.
You
Contentious.
You could argue he's the third.
Okay. So it's always been hyped up. Everyone's afraid. Luffy comes out of the barrel. Classic. He gets swept up by a whirlpool in his little dinghy.
Of course.
Gets in the barrel. Comes out of the barrel. Kobe finds him. Okay. So they're in the warehouse. Luffy's like, what are you doing, kid? I need a dinghy. Kobe shows him his shitty ship that he's been building to escape. Made very poorly.
Very poorly.
It took him 2 years to make this ship, Christian.
Kobe sucks.
Kobe, real bad. Better now. But real dumb.
Very dumb.
So everyone's afraid of Alvida. Alvida, very bad captain. Oda showing that this pirate is very bad to her crew.
Indeed.
Okay. IMS Alvida comes after Luffy. Luffy just fucks her up.
People need to be reminded that Luffy can't take blunt force damage.
Yes.
Because people forget this. Alright? It's a factor.
What?
Remember it. Luffy can't take blunt force damage.
Where's he go? He takes no damage from this mace.
That's what I said. He can't take blunt force damage.
I thought you said he can.
No, he can't.
No, very, very little damage. We have Haki now. Still negated.
Yeah, but if he hits the floor,
Yeah.
that's no damage.
Indeed.
So, Luffy's durability plus the Devil Fruit, take that into account.
Very high. Indeed. Now, Alvida. A villain? See, I look at this and I'm thinking, Oda's building here.
Mm-hmm.
He's showing...
small.
He's showing... Shanks' pirate crew,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind. Now we're showing the bad side of pirates. And in the next chapter / arc, he's showing the bad side
The Marines.
of the Navy. Not everything's black and white. It's not as simple as good guys versus bad guys. This is very good for world building, I might add.
Really?
It's giving context to the world.
That's what the first couple chapters should do.
Yeah. This is what I like so much about like this early stuff, is that he's building his character relations, and he's building his world, before he starts layering his
Powers.
his combat, and his sort of like, because he kind of stumbles on how to do a villain until Arlong. He's stumbling. He's trying to still figure it out. But I'll get to that.
I don't know if he's stumbling. Here's the thing.
I have notes on it. So
Okay.
Yeah, they constantly called Zoro a walking demon throughout this entire section.
Mm-hmm.
Still keeping the demon theme this far in.
Zoro's a demon. Zoro's the demon, alright?
Indeed.
Where is he, by the way?
Zoro.
When am I going to see Zoro?
Soon.
I need that Zoro in my life.
So I would say that this arc with Zoro is the first legitimate
Arc?
with 4-act structure. Because we have the exposition, complication, resolve, complication, and then overcoming that complication, and then the resolve. Complete arc. Alvida, not really developed enough to have that full arc. Shanks, not really developed enough to have that full arc.
Yeah.
It's kind of segmented, almost. We have bits and pieces of acts between each. But this is his first attempt, and I will say, rereading this little section, this 4-chapter section, good arc. Very good arc.
You could tell a good story in a short amount of chapters.
Amount of time. Pacing, very good. A little bit strange how he's getting Zoro captured. A little bit weird.
What do you mean? It makes complete sense.
Yeah, but
He gets himself captured on purpose.
what I mean is,
What?
I think Zoro would have the physical strength to escape ropes.
It's because...
He's doing it for the kid.
Exactly.
I'm aware. But he could also murder Morgans and Helmeppo regardless.
Maybe to test for himself. Maybe he wants to test.
So, yes, he's very keen to last a month. He said he will last a month. We see Zoro's drive match Luffy's drive to be king of the pirates in this arc.
True.
He wants to be the world's greatest swordsman, and he's interested in Luffy. He tells Luffy to go away multiple times.
He tells him to go away first.
Shows Zoro's softer side with his little girl. Mm-hmm. The rice balls are sweet.
People want to say Zoro's an interesting character.
Okay.
Clearly interesting.
Yeah, just to repeat myself, the themes of, not everything's good, not everything's bad. Pirates are also good and bad. Navy are
Spoiled
good and
kid,
bad.
Helmeppo.
Yep. And how the power corrupts
Yeah.
the supposed good guys. Zoro, I might add, we find out this later, became a pirate hunter because he was lost at sea.
Classic Zoro.
So, the cursed sword theory, not very good.
You can get lost at sea without being retarded.
But the specific lost gag is there. Luffy says, so you got lost, and he's like, hey, shut up, I didn't get lost. Standard Zoro.
But is he retarded? Well, getting lost.
he needs buggy clowns to get him to Orangetown.
Maybe he's just bad at navigation, full stop.
Yeah, so this is a theme on the sea.
But maybe the cursed sword amplifies that.
Okay, that's right.
So,
you know,
are you trying to debunk my theory?
we go through this arc.
Can't do it.
We go through this arc.
Yeah.
We see Zoro's dimension with Luffy. We see Kobe a little bit. Still being the same Kobe. But he's trying to face his fears by trying to free Zoro.
Yep.
Can't really do it, he gets shot. Okay. Helmeppo, piece of shit. Wasn't going to keep his end of the bargain.
No.
Right? He was going to keep Zoro in there for a month. That's what he told Zoro. He wasn't going to do that. Right? Now Zoro's locked up because he cut one of Helmeppo's rabid dogs attacking this little girl.
Yeah.
So Zoro has did his sentence. Everyone doesn't like Zoro because he's the demon. Okay. So Luffy's like, join my crew and I'll free you.
Yep.
And he's like, alright. But he's a little bit hesitant. Luffy doesn't really say those words. It's kind of like hinted at.
Yeah.
Zoro's shocked in Luffy's determination.
Yeah.
And tells Kobe that. Luffy comes back with... Well, first, very funny. Luffy breaks Captain Morgan's statue that he's trying to erect.
Yeah.
Of himself. He's a captain. And he's so cocky.
It's because it's the East Blue.
Yeah. Like, who...
Like, Arlong's the biggest threat.
Yeah. It's interesting how Captain Morgan thinks he's top shit.
See, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
We got Judge being like, I'm going to take over the North Blue.
Yeah.
Why can't he do it?
That's a lot of land.
Why can't he do it? I want to know why. Apparently the Revolution Army's in there. Maybe they're going to cross paths again. Maybe.
Interesting thought. I think Lindbergh would be interesting to Judge's technology. Would you say?
I think they're going to be enemies.
Sure. Most definitely. Yep. So, Luffy, classic. I'm made of rubber. Bullets don't affect me. Bullets bounce off. He has all Zoro's swords. Weird scale issues with the swords here, Rhoda. Swords aren't really that long. They kind of look like sticks.
Well,
when they're sheathed. But like...
That would be accurate.
Yes, but they're not like... They look a little short. Kind of like,
yes.
but they're kind of like scaled to like...
Plus, they're not his actual sword. Like, one of them is his actual sword that he...
But they're all the same size. They're like... Luffy, they're kind of scaled to how the characters are scaled, but like...
Yeah, see, art style.
Sorta. Just a little note there.
Okay.
So, the swords are in Helmeppo's room. Luffy jumps out of the balcony, gets shot and made of rubber, bounces off.
Zoro stops the weapons.
Zoro stops the weapon, shows how strong Zoro is. Luffy, Gum Whip, takes over the rest of the soldiers. Captain Morgan comes in. Luffy just fucks him up. Not even a fight.
Yeah.
Beats him to a pulp. But Helmeppo's got the kid captive. Luffy stretches out, punches Helmeppo in the head.
Yeah.
But Captain Morgan's behind Luffy.
Zoro.
Zoro blocks the axe. Very good. And then cuts Captain Morgan. But you don't see the cut. This combat scene.
A little bit of censorship?
No, I think this is Oda still trying to figure out how he wants his characters to be drawn in combat. It's still a little bit clunky.
I think he's...
It's not as clean as he gets.
I think he's worried about showing
Violence.
people getting cut.
Yeah.
At the start. Because the art style's mainly for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he doesn't want to show people getting cut.
So that's about the arc.
He's still figuring it out.
Zoro joins the crew.
Yeah.
He's very determined, very strong character. His kind of thing is that he falls asleep and gets lost, which is
Yeah, it's still
True.
to this day.
which is still true.
Is Zoro just perpetually drunk?
He's not drinking now.
He's always drinking.
All right, so we save the village. Hooray! Kobe has his scene where Luffy's egging him on. Kobe punches Luffy, so Luffy, it doesn't look like they're friends.
Yeah.
Luffy starts his charade, plays Kobe right into his hands.
Yep.
Kobe joins the Marines. All fun and games.
And yeah,
And we're out. Now,
buggy time.
just on this quick arc, very four, 5 chapters. Very quick, pacing very fast. I would like a little bit more lore on Zora's past in this.
I mean, you get
Because
it
we also get Zora's flashback in this arc.
yeah,
And
flashback. Can we talk about? We've been talking about Tashigi a lot lately.
yeah, and it brings up the issue of Tashigi. Now, Oda clearly trying to say in this flashback specifically, it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl. It matters how strong you are as a swordsman, right?
But is he saying that?
But Tashigi's character goes completely against it.
So is he saying that?
Or is he saying she's shit not because she's a woman, she's shit because she's a shit swordsman?
Maybe he's
What is the
trying to-
message with Tashigi?
Maybe he's trying to say that, reality is reality.
Okay.
You can't change reality. It's a fact that men are, on average, stronger than women. But let me talk about averages for 1 second.
Yes.
Averages can't be applied to individuals,
Okay.
right? That is called prejudice. Mm-hmm. Right? So you gotta judge people on a case by case basis. On average, women are stronger than men, but people like Serena Williams exist, stronger than most men.
Okay.
So there are exceptions to the rule, which is why you judge people on a case by case basis.
Alright.
So maybe Oda's trying to say that there are physical realities to the situation. It's a fact that men have a higher potential of strength than women,
Yep.
but there are allies that can break the rule. Maybe he's trying to say that.
Big Mom.
Big Mom.
Interesting thought on this flashback, Christian. We see that Zora is very determined to beat her. Challenge her to a real sword fight. Zora loses. Alright.
Yep.
She dies by falling downstairs. Very contentious.
Do you believe she's dead?
Yes.
Do you believe something
This
funky
is-
happened?
This is so early on in manga in Oda's writing.
Revolutionary ties.
There are revolution ties. This is so early on in Oda's writing that I think he didn't want to get graphic with this little girl.
All right, yeah, he doesn't want to show people getting cut. Maybe he doesn't want to show.
And
girl
he
breaking
goes,
their neck
how do I
upstairs.
kill this girl without it being said
Is
and
it a
sudden?
fate thing? See, falling down the stairs, in my mind, is kind of like a fate allegory.
But it also there also is a little comment that says the human body is still very fragile.
Exactly. So
So-
maybe it's a commentary on fate and how no matter how strong your will is,
Because you got
you can be.
when you go
be
back
broken.
and you reread these arcs like we do, you have to put the arc into the context of when it was written.
Yeah.
You can't go back
21 years ago?
You can't go back.
Well, you can.
You can't go back, reread something, and go, how does it fit the context now? Especially, you can kind of like
What do you mean?
in the contemporary
That's what we do.
era. Yes, that's what we do. But I'm saying so early on, right? Mm-hmm. So early on in Oda trying to figure things out, you can't really be like Koina's alive.
But he could make her alive.
Yeah.
Now, in this context.
And it's the whole Shanks arm thing, and was he an emperor back then, and the Sea King.
It's not like that because
know.
because Oda could very well have killed her back then, but now he's like, I killed this character in a very suspicious way.
Yeah.
I can bring her back with very little complaints.
I don't think
So there's
I don't think the
options.
circumstances themselves is very suspicious. The reader perhaps now goes, that's suspicious because of the context we have now for
Yeah.
the story, and goes, I think that's just suspicious. Therefore, she could be alive.
But you're not acknowledging that Oda could bring her back.
He could bring her back.
But he at the time he intended her to be dead.
Yes.
But now in this context, maybe he wants to bring her back for Wano and some moments with Zoro.
It would need to be explained in a way that's like, okay.
I can explain it right here. He sent her to the revolutionaries.
But she was very upset that she was about to become a woman.
Yeah.
She said, "I'm growing breasts. This is over for me. You're gonna be stronger than me."
Yep.
And she seems like Zoro is her very close friend. It seems like she would tell him that she's going away, because she has to act there dead on the floor for how long?
It could be a body double.
It could happen. Okay, it could happen.
Zabo had amnesia.
Yeah.
She has amnesia. Kenjiro sends her to the Rev. Whatever.
Okay. As his greatest pupil, but he gives her sword away.
She is dead in that context. She is now a new person going to the Revs.
Therefore, gets a new sword.
Therefore, she gets a new sword.
Okay.
I don't know. She could be alive. Oda can bring her back. It would make sense. He just has to explain it. It wouldn't be that unbelievable if she was brought back.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Okay.
I think... Here's the thing with Zoro's flashback. I think Oda's... ideals and mentality have matured.
Yes. Most definitely.
Because... What is he trying to say with this? It contradicts with the rest of the story.
What? His message in his flashback?
This flashback contradicts with the rest of the story.
Not really. It's saying it doesn't matter what you were born, you could always become.
But it does, because she dies by falling down the stairs. And the character of Tashigi. What is going on? So, I think...
But the theme is always that you have the freedom to do as you wish.
But there are physical realities.
Yes.
That's not so much in the story anymore.
Okay.
That's out of the story. So, maybe Oda's matured as a writer. Because I don't think this really fits the themes of the entire series.
Okay.
Because what it's saying to me is what I've said before.
Yep.
Women are weak because of physical realities.
Yeah.
But then you have characters like, you've got Big Mom, you got Smoothie, you got strong women in the world.
Yeah.
What does that say about...
But this flashback goes against that notion, because she's stronger than Zoro. And
until she becomes a woman.
Yes, but Zoro's whole character is... It doesn't matter what you are, it's how good you are with a sword.
Enter Tashigi and explain that to me.
He says that to Tashigi. It's not because you're a woman, it's because you're shit.
But she is shit.
Yes.
So, I don't understand what... Alright, after... You could make that argument after... But before the end of Alabasta.
Yeah.
When she realizes she has to get strong. And then she doesn't get strong. What is that about? What is Oda trying to say?
Interesting. Now, Christian, we shall get off this Tashigi tangent and this Kawaii tangent.
It's interesting because you can really tell Oda's matured as a writer.
Zoro's master returning chances.
Not in the story, in flashbacks.
Yeah.
Because he's still in, East Blue?
Yeah.
So...
Okay. Christian, Buggy. Now, they get to Buggy because Nami has fooled these 3 clowns on the sea. Buggy subordinates.
Yep.
She stole their ship by playing the maiden in distress, as it were. They get fooled, they get thrown to the sea.
Nami, the classic thief archetype.
Yeah. The Straw Hats, as they are now.
Can we talk about the classic 3-man crew structure?
Yeah.
You got 2 men, and you got 1 girl.
Yeah.
Classic.
Okay. Before this, Luffy's real hungry.
Yep.
He wants a chef and a musician.
Yep.
Zoro's like winning a navigator.
Yep.
Luffy stretches to get a seagull. He gets stuck in the beak. Classic. And he flies away.
Thus begins the classic tradition of Luffy getting stuck in animals.
Sort of. We'll get to Luffy being caged shortly.
Yep.
So they go... Yeah, Zoro picks up these bandits, or these Buggy the Clown dudes. And they're like, yeah, we got you, Zoro. We're gonna fuck you up. But Zoro pummels them, and they end up rowing the ship for him.
Yeah.
going to Orange Town.
Yep.
They arrive. Luffy kind of falls from the sky and arrives next to Nami.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of get into a conversation. She's like, I'm trying to go after Buggy's treasure. I need 100 million berries, which can buy a village. So that's some context for money in the story.
But how much is a village in the East Blue worth?
100 million.
But is that buying, a shit shack in Sunbury?
It's a whole village. Think about it. Christian.
Yeah.
So this Buggy arc is interesting to me for a few points. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to flesh out a villain and flesh out some kind of villain crew members.
Yeah.
But kind of sacrifices that to develop his characters, which is kind of the theme of like the first 5-6 volumes.
Well, that's what you do in
Yeah.
at the start. You develop your main characters.
Okay.
So the villains aren't going to be too strong. There might be a little bit of interesting little details in there, but the fights between the antagonist and the protagonist is to show the protagonist's morals and the way of thinking that they think about. That's what that's about.
Nami captures Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
Luffy's in a cage.
Yeah.
Thus starting the tradition of Luffy being stuck or incapacitated for the arc. Mm-hmm. Zoro arrives. They meet up. Hooray! We're all met up.
Mm-hmm.
Buggy, chop fruit. They talk about devil fruits like no one has ever seen one in existence.
This always happens.
Yeah.
No one has a devil fruit.
Yeah.
No one has haki. No one has Conqueror's haki.
Yeah.
Everyone has a devil fruit. Everyone has haki. Everyone has Conqueror's haki.
Okay.
Just the way it is. The power creep.
So
Also, to be fair,
yeah.
we don't see that many devil fruits on the East Blue.
Okay.
It mainly begins in the Grand Line, which is like, what? Not even... It's like maybe a tenth of the world, the whole Grand Line.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it could be considered rare.
Yep.
Because you've got East, North Blue, East, North, South, and West Blues.
Yep.
Maybe there's no devil fruits there.
Okay.
Or maybe devil fruits are rare there. But when you go to Grand Line, people who are strong are there. They've got devil fruits.
When you think about it in the context of the story, there's let's say there's 1 billion people in the One Piece world.
Yeah.
A very small percentage have devil fruits. But as the protagonist, we meet a lot of them.
Exactly. It's an average game. You know what I mean?
So here we are in Orange Town. Buggy has Luffy captured. Nami's trying to get to Buggy's treasure, trying to join his crew. She joins his crew.
Yep.
They're gonna fire the Buggy while at Luffy. Zoro turns up.
Mm.
We get a little bit of character for Nami here. Buggy demands that Nami shoot the cannibal at Luffy.
Yeah.
She can't do it. So Zoro turns up. He turns the cannibal over.
Yep, the cannon.
The buggy cannon. He gets stabbed by Buggy in the back, showing Buggy's powers. Buggy Ball blows up. Zoro has Luffy in the cage.
Yep.
Everyone's kind of scattered at this point. In comes... What's his name? Moshi?
Yeah.
On his line. Now, Christian, I have issues with this specific section.
What's that?
We get the mayor of the town.
Yep.
Talking about how he built this town from scratch, the dog, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Luffy beats this lion man into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
The lion breaks the cage. No, Christian. Is there a specific point to this section?
Yes. It is the theme of the arc.
Mm.
The theme is treasure.
Yes.
There's
what are people's treasures?
There's superficial treasure, gold, money, what Buggy wants.
Okay.
And then there's real treasures, personal belongings, Luffy's straw hat, the mayor's town, the dog's shop.
Yep.
It's about the theme of treasure. It's not, treasure is what matters, emotionally to someone. It's not gold and treasure. It's not gold and jewels. It's not the classic
Okay.
realization of treasure. That's what I was trying to say with that section.
Now,
First attempt at themes. Would you not say? Mm-hmm. First direct attempt at themes.
Zoro's asleep. From the
Because
winds.
he's had a battle.
Yeah.
A little bit of nap time for Zoro.
After this, Zoro wakes up and Nami says you should stay. They go to Buggy.
Mm-hmm.
Nami says you should lie down and heal. He says I'm already healed, and Nami's like that's not how that works. We arrive.
Mm-hmm.
Nami went to go steal the treasure.
Yep.
Zoro versus Acrobats Kabashi.
Yeah.
Interesting fight here.
Karabashi?
Yes. First time we see Zoro in a legitimate fight.
Would you call this legitimate?
Well, he didn't fight Morgan.
yeah,
and-
but he's nerfed.
Yeah, and he cuts himself as well. So he has the dude has a bigger handicap. So
Is this the first Zoro hype?
yes, well, it's a weird fight, and it's kind of showing Oda struggling with how he wants to do his combat.
No, I think it's about time.
It's about time.
Because he wants a short arc, he wants to get...
It's not about time, because he spent a lot of pages
Yeah. On themes.
on Luffy vs Buggy, and he spent a lot of pages on.
But it's a side... Zoro versus
And
Karabashi is a side fight.
And it's also not like this fight is short. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the fight is short. It's about a chapter.
That's a short fight.
It's not. It's not a scuffle. It's a full fight.
Yeah, but it's a chapter.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying the content of the fight is poor. What I'm saying is the mechanical aspects of how Oda's drawing the page has not yet cemented in his mind of how he wants a sword fight to play.
Yeah, I think it's the blood thing again.
He cuts himself, there's blood spurting out. What I'm saying is it's not as clean as Katakuri versus Luffy. That's all I'm trying to say.
It's 22 years later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying this is early. Oda's still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's all I said.
I'm not going to say it's categorically bad.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's issues with the way he's drawing his characters fighting at the moment. It's not as clear as it could be, and it's not as direct as it could be.
Would you say it's Disney-esque in the way the fights are drawn?
I want to get very specific here.
Okay.
He's drawing before the attack and after the attack in single panels.
So he's using,
So Zoro comes, slashes, right? Zoro comes, slash hits, and then aftermath of that.
Yep.
In 3 panels. The correct way of doing it, and the right way of doing it shown in literature such as Dragon Ball, is...
The holy book, according to Eric.
Yes, the holy book in how to do combat. Very good. Is you do 2 motions in 1 panel, or all 3. It's segmented off in panels, and you're not really getting it's not cementing in the mind in a single panel that the whole action happened.
So what you're saying is you want less panels?
No, not specifically.
What are you trying to say?
Because it's very specific, Christian.
Are you saying there's not enough wind up?
I'm saying the impact is lessened because he fragments each section of the attack in each shot. So it cuts the shot. So shot 1, shot 2, shot 3. And they, in your mind, they turn into stills. This happens and that happens and this happens.
So it's too much.
If it's drawn in a single panel of the fluid motion of everything.
Give me an example of how to draw this in 1 panel.
Well, I'll give you an example. Luffy fighting Doflamingo, and it happens all the times when characters dodge things.
Yeah.
You see the arc of the attack come through the panel. Mm-hmm. You see the speed lines of the character dodging.
Yeah.
And then that's the panel. Instead of him winding up to kick is 1 panel. The kick coming through another panel. The character dodging another panel. Right? That's 3 panels.
Okay.
I'm saying in 1 panel. you do all three. So you see the arc of the foot come through, the speed lines of the character jumping out of the way. That is how you do combat, not in a way that is,
So anticipation, full action.
yes, you anticipate the attack, and then you flow into the full motion of either the character getting hit or the character dodging.
But would you say that's a very Japanese style, not a Western style, that Oda's trying to go for?
I would say that this is what, 1996?
Yeah.
Oda's very young.
Yeah.
And
But he's been studying.
he's been studying and he
manga
knows.
his whole
But
life.
what I was saying before is he's not comfortable yet with combat
I think
in his manga.
I think
that's clear.
I think the argument is
Yes.
he's trying to ape a Western style.
No, he's not trying to do that.
That's what my opinion is, because you see this a lot in Western comics.
He's not, yes, but he's not trying to ape Western comics. It's very much Toriyama, it's very much Astro Boy, it's very much Disney, which is very much Japanese.
But Toriyama copied Disney.
Well, it goes back to Astro Boy and the inception of Disney animation in Japan.
Yeah.
Basically, for people that don't know out there, ladies and gentlemen, when the Disney films came out, Japan got obsessed with them,
yeah.
and Astro Boy came out, and then basically everything after that is a copy of Astro Boy, and then Dragon Ball came out, and basically everything after that's a copy of Dragon Ball. That's how it is.
All right. So
Christian,
I'm not sure.
I'm very specific about how I like the mechanics.
Exactly.
It's not. I'm not saying it's incorrect per se, but clearly, the masterpiece that is the Katakuri fight mechanically.
But I don't understand what you're saying.
It's very
because
good.
When you're let's just say you're roasting My Hero Academia, you're saying don't do too much in one panel.
No, what I'm saying is it's not clear. I'm not saying the content of the panel is too much. I'm saying the shading is too much. The blur effects are too much. The line of action is not clear. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just trying to make it clear for the people.
Yes.
Because I don't necessarily agree. Because what you're saying is how you draw speed. Right?
What I'm saying is how you draw action.
How you draw fast action.
Sure.
Because if you stunt it like this, you're showing, maybe you want to show the skill of the swordsman.
Christian, this is a man on a unicycle very fast versus another
But
swordsman.
maybe you want to show the skill of the swordsman. So what he's doing in between every attack, on how to block, how to dodge. Maybe you want to show the skill aspect, because if you do that in one panel, maybe you're not getting the information.
I don't think so. To me,
Something to think about.
to me, in my personal opinion, this is Oda still trying to figure out how he wants to draw his characters.
Well,
into combat,
think
and
about
it's
this
clear.
way.
It's clear with Luffy as well, which we'll get into at the buggy fight.
Think about it this way, right?
Yes.
We haven't really seen much action up until this point.
Well, we saw the
Sure.
we saw the choreography of Luffy and Zoro versus Morgans,
It was like 2 pages.
which is also similar, but it's forgiven because of the distance of the attacks that are shot. Specifically, Luffy's pistol against Helmeppo.
For example, right, the first time you see Zoro's Haki use Haki on his swords, it's like 4 panels.
Yes, but that's very specific.
It's to show what happens.
I'll give you another.
So then later you understand what happens when he uses Haki.
I'll give you another
I
example.
would say it's the same here.
Luffy uses Gavel on the lion.
Yep.
You do not see Luffy's body. You only see the leg spin. Luffy's not in a panel. You lose this strength and the leverage of what Luffy has because he's not in the panel. All you see is his feet.
You see a lot of the line though. See a lot of the
You see a lot of the line, but you don't see. What I'm saying is, if you do all these things in one panel, your mind fills in the animated work, and you can understand it. When you see individual shots, it segments everything.
Here's the thing. You're thinking of the perspective of the animator.
No, I'm thinking
Which is very Japanese. The way Japanese set up panels is based on animation. Not necessarily the art of a comic book.
Yes, but what I'm saying is Oda fixes this issue as we go along.
He changes the style. I'm not sure if it's an issue.
No,
or a style change.
My speculation is that as he gets more comfortable with the character's attacks and how he wants to draw them,
Also the audience, right?
Sure,
Audience
also
getting more
the-
comfortable with how Luffy's powers work, how Zoro works.
sure,
You could argue that as well.
but it slowly gets clearer and clearer and clearer. It's not like a on and off switch, right? It's not like he does this style then does the other style,
yeah, of course. No, yeah. That's
right?
yeah,
So
that's
what
how it
I'm
works.
saying is, as he's figuring it out as a young artist,
But surely he has editors telling him.
but you know how it is, Christian. As you evolve as an artist,
Sure.
you learn on the job as you're doing your own
yeah,
things.
yeah, sure.
And what I'm saying is he figured out the formula while he was drawing it. That's what I'm saying to you. Because the action is not Oda's strong point in these first few arcs. His strong points are world building and character dynamics and expression in
I would
characters.
say he uses both techniques nowadays, depending on the attack. Well, you see, his first attack in Snake Man, he fires the attack, Katakuri dodges. Very clear, one panel.
Yes.
But then, Katakuri's like, what's happening? You get two
Yes,
panels
but
of him
he's
being...
explaining the attack specifically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he's doing the same thing here at the start to explain the attacks, to explain how the world works. And then he transitions over.
But I will add, Onigiri is shown the first time. You see the stance, and you see the aftermath. No follow through.
Speed, because he wants to show
No,
it's fast.
We'll move on from this point, because Christian wants to argue it.
I'm just not
For no
sure
reason.
if it's better or worse.
It's worse. Full stop. This style of what he's doing now in combat
Yeah.
is worse. Mechanically.
Alright.
Full stop. That's how it is.
You gotta see the animator.
Yes.
Sure.
And how it's done. It's done for a reason in manga. Yes. It's done for a reason in manga.
Yeah.
Okay?
I understand why, but there are pros and cons. Because then you get people saying that this happened when it didn't, because you can fill in the gaps. You know what I mean?
Then people
Take
think-
liberties.
yes.
Luffy doesn't have observation haki to see the future.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
It becomes less and less clear the more and more you do that. So maybe there's a little bit of give and take.
But
with
I'd
this
say
technique.
in that situation, Oda is good at the attack itself
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
which no issues here for me. The attacks now are very good. Beforehand, what I'm saying is Oda's not really explaining how Luffy's stretching works. He's not really explaining how Zoro's swords work here. Zoro is just doing attacks, and Luffy are just doing attacks, right?
Okay.
They are unclear, and they lack the cinematic qualities that you construct in your mind, and they become segmented via panel progression
Okay.
and via what I stated before, via the 3 panels wind up, connection, and finish. Should be either in 2 sections of 1 panel or all 3. That's what I have to say about that.
Alright. Comment
So-
below what do you think about this.
So, we get the fight with Zoro and the man on the wheel.
Okay.
Zoro gets very upset that he's using a lot of stupid tricks. Fire breath. Bunch of wheel stuff. Zoro goes, I'm going to have to handicap myself so I can show some real sword play.
Yep.
And beats him with a onigiri.
That's how it is.
Now, meanwhile, Nami has the treasure. Buggy's like, what are you doing? Give my treasure back. Luffy comes in. Saves Nami.
Yep.
We get this Nami... We get this Luffy versus Buggy fight.
Yeah.
Similar issues
Okay.
that we just talked about. Also, we see Oda attempting to flesh out his villains via
Flashback.
flashback with Shanks, which is very good.
Well, it's a comedy flashback. 'cause
Hello Ben Beckman.
Ben Beckman.
Not Ben
you mean
Beckman. Hello Rayleigh. Also, Roger doesn't give a fuck about his crew members eating the fruits.
No, he's the freest man on the sea.
He goes, anyone who wants it can eat it.
He's the freest man on the sea.
This Del fruit also worth 100 billion.
100 billion.
100 million rather.
What can I say?
What other tidbit was there that I wanted to point out? They got it off a island, I believe, or
Was
an
it a
enemy
treasure?
ship, something like that.
It was a raid or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the buggy fight happens. We get the flashback with Shanks. Luffy describes his treasure as being his hat. Nami takes notice.
Mm-hmm.
Buggy stabs the hat, saying that, Shanks and I are mortal enemies. Goes through his flashback. Luffy goes, so Shanks saved you, etc., etc. Nami runs off with the gold. Buggy goes after her.
Mm-hmm.
Luffy kicks Buggy in the dick.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Always
Classic.
funny.
Always funny.
Always funny.
Always funny.
Uh,
No matter how old you are.
Yeah.
Always funny.
Nami ties up Buggy's spare parts after Buggy uses party, is it? Or circus or something?
I think
Can't
it's
remember what
party.
it's called.
Yeah.
And then Nami ties up his body parts. Luffy going on bazooka. Goodbye, Buggy.
Arc's over.
Arc's done. We get a little bit of celebration with the mayor. They get blamed for blowing up the town, the Straw Hats, but the mayor's like, don't touch him. Because Luffy knocks out the mayor and they think they did this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because the mayor's like, I'm going to fight him. But Luffy's like, you're too weak.
Yeah.
You're in my way. Get out of my way. What I want to say about this arc, Christian, what I wanted to say before was what I said, which is like, the combat has issues. Oda's trying to flesh out his character dynamics more than his villains. But he's also at the same time trying to give a sense of threat. And is it working in the Buggy arc? A little bit. It falls apart in Syrup Village, and we'll get into that.
I think he's trying to find his feet.
Yeah,
He's trying to find his style.
He's probably thinking to himself, Buggy's too simple. Let me go for a
cerebral villain.
more plot-focused villain with plot elements.
Yeah.
And what he'll figure out is the most interesting villains have their own philosophy that guides them.
Obviously.
Yes. Which is all good villain writing.
That's just good villain writing.
So,
That's how you write villains.
Nami is allied with the crew, not officially joined. They have a spare boat that they stole off the Buggy Pirates.
Yep.
And we set sail and we land on Syrup Village. We meet Usopp. Classic Usopp antics.
Mm-hmm.
We go to dinner, we go to lunch with Usopp. Luffy describes his father. He goes, I love my father, he's a free man, he's a great warrior of the sea.
Don't we go to Gaimon first?
Yes, Gaimon. I had a few notes about Gaimon. How could I forget the man Gaimon? Christian,
The Gaimon tier.
the Gaimon arc, remember?
The filler.
Remember?
Arc that has no reason to be in the story.
Yes, Gaimon should be on the crew. But he wanted to protect the animals. Interesting thought.
Gaimon. The Gaimon tier exists.
Being
Because-
on this island for 20 years, after he's greed, perhaps,
Got him into the
got
treasure
him into
chest.
the treasure chest, sorta, kinda.
Yep.
The treasure chests he found were empty, which was his fear. Luffy goes, you're lucky that I opened them. He could be here another 30 years without knowing.
Yeah.
This, Oda's still trying to explain the concept of treasure and
I
what
think
it means to be a pirate
I think
and
he wants to
greed.
say a little bit more from
This
Buggy
also explains the Grand Line and how the world works with that map.
Arc. Yeah.
Yes, it still works now. There's no retroactive plot holes in here. It still works.
Mm-hmm.
Red Line a little bit thicker than it is, but it's an approximation. Whatever.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about Gaimon, Christian?
It's such a weird little detour.
Yeah.
I don't know. In one mind, I think, wouldn't it be interesting to have an arc of little chronicle events?
Okay.
4 chapters here, 4 chapters there, moving around the world,
So-
seeing different islands, seeing different characters interact.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be interesting? But then we get this Gaimon, which is like that. It's kind of like a little interlude.
It's fun.
Little side adventure.
It's not long enough to get annoying.
No.
So there it is.
I think Oda took the Gaimon and made him cover stories.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so. That's what he did.
By the way, quick note on Buggy. I think fat could be trimmed on that arc.
6 chapters.
It's a little bit. It's almost a whole volume.
It's what? 8?
It's almost 8, 9 chapters. I'm not a fan of the lion. I'm Then there didn't need to be a whole crew fight. It could have just been Buggy. It wasn't really.
come on,
It wasn't really necessary.
we need to see Zoro do something, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm not a fan of the Moji fight and the mare as a whole. I think it could have been more effective to just show Luffy's treasure than show specific other things.
Okay.
Because we get the message.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but yeah, right.
Volume ends. Yeah, so Village Christian. Contentious arc, I'd say.
Probably the worst arc in One Piece.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's not very good. And we'll get into reasons why, but it's kind of a muddled arc, a weird arc. Kuro's plan doesn't really make sense. You got fat like the Mian Band brothers. You got, convenient antics like, oh, we're on the wrong part of the fucking
Yeah, it's
island.
weird, and I'll get into my thoughts on why it is this way.
Django's cool at least. Django's
So, Usopp. We meet him, we talk to him, we find out a little bit about his character. We start with a boy cried wolf situation. This is Usopp the Liar, captain of the Usopp Pirates.
Yeah.
He goes and talks to... I always forget her name. What's her face?
Fuck. Starts with a K.
Anyway, the girl in the palace.
Yeah.
In the manor. Her parents died because they were sick. She's sick as well. Usopp tells stories to her about a giant goldfish. That he fed to a land of little people.
They call that Dressrosa.
Yes. But he also describes a legendary mole that entered the grounds. Have we seen a legendary mole?
Could it be Miss Merry Christmas?
Perhaps. That was my thinking, but look out, ladies and gentlemen, for it. We see how Usopp clearly has something for this character.
Yeah.
We also see Captain Kuro for the first time.
Yep.
He tells Usopp to go away.
Yep.
And then we learn of the plot that Captain Kuro is planning to take this girl's money in a 3-year scheme.
How much money is this?
I would imagine a lot of money. Django's very weird. He's kind of moonwalking throughout the village. Funny.
Right hand man?
Yeah. Acting captain of the Cat Pirates.
Yep.
So Kuro describes his plan to Django, Luffy, and Usopp overhear it. Captain Kuro goes, "Don't worry, no one's gonna believe Usopp."
Yep. Boy Who Cried Wolf.
Boy Who Cried Wolf,
Very
etc.
obviously.
And then we get into the plot and the fight scenes and kind of the Usopp finding that his lies are coming back to bite him in the ass.
Yeah.
Now, Christian, my thing about this arc, we get a bunch of fights.
Yeah.
And we're introducing characters. We're spending way too long on them to build threat. And then we're defeating them. This is the pattern that Oda's struggling with the most during these first few chapters. He's introducing characters and then building the threat of them in the middle of the fight. That's taking way too long. Instead of building the threat before the fight, and then the fight not lasting that long. Because it gets tiresome when the Cat Brothers are still here.
That's true.
It gets tiresome when Kuro is still here. Now, Django, interesting character, hypnotizes Luffy and turns the mast of the ship, well, not the mast, what the front hull, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Yep.
Falls on top of Luffy, because Luffy picks it up. Luffy very strong. Why can't he break out of this cage? Is it because he's hypnotized?
Yeah, he's also hypnotized with the stupid Django tricks.
Falls on top of him, he's knocked out. Luffy knocked out, classic. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, enter the cat feet Kuro and his powers that be. He's very fast. It explains why he moves his glasses in such a way. He
Because,
tilts them.
he doesn't want to scratch his eyes.
Because he has knives on his hands.
That was such a weird reveal.
His lore is built up very much in... When we're revealed that he's fighting Luffy, it's clunky in the way that, what I said before, Oda trying to kind of figure out how he wants to do a villain. He goes, Buggy wasn't that complex, so I'll make Kuro a little bit more complex in his plot.
In his plot, but not in his character.
Which he'll grow to figure out eventually.
With Arlong.
So the plot is very complex here. It gets clunky because we have to introduce the cat pirates very late into the arc.
Yeah, almost at the end.
Zoro fights these guys just so Zoro can fight someone.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
It's an interesting thing. Mm-hmm. Why couldn't Zoro just fight Django and Luffy just fight Kuro and that be the end of it? Instead, we get an extra 4 or 5 chapters split between the rest of the volume of Zoro just fucking around with these cat dudes.
They're annoying.
And Zoro doesn't even beat them.
Yeah.
Kuro beats them because they're like, Captain Kuro, you haven't been here for 3 years. You think you're the captain. You're weak. We're going to fight you. Kuro.
This is to build Kuro up, though.
It's to build Kuro up so Luffy can fight him. And then Luffy fights him.
And one-shots him.
And it's not really a fight.
It's a fight. There's a little bit of things Kuro's doing.
A little bit of here and there. Luffy hits him. Kuro's is...
Gum Bell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's all over. Now, and here we leave the town with Usopp. Usopp disbands the Usopp pirates, and he keeps on saying he's going to be captain.
No,
but he's not going to be the captain. He draws the pirate flag.
We get to marry here,
and we get to marry, which is very important.
From Kaya.
Yes.
Or from her butler.
Yes.
So we get to marry. Very important ship.
Very important ship. That's why Luffy goes to the mansion asking for a ship.
Yep.
From the first place. We see that. Yeah. So they get the ship, and then after this arc, we see some nice crew dynamic. A couple of chapters just getting to know the crew dynamics on the Merry.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like this feeling. We're on the open seas, not a care in the world, and we're just seeing these friends.
Yeah.
It's nice. Now, Christian, my thoughts on this arc as a whole.
It's just... What?
Usopp character work, top notch. Oda does not skip a beat on his character work. It shows that...
For the main character, sure.
That when he's setting up his main characters, especially early on, he wants to establish the character.
Yeah.
And that, unfortunately...
makes the arc suffer.
It's the arc suffers because there's not that much focus set on the villain and conflict.
Except for Water 7 and Enies Lobby.
Yes, but can you say that Rob Lucci has a specifically fleshed out character?
It's fleshed out enough.
Yes. It's fleshed out enough, and he's interesting because he
Way more
poses such
to
a threat. And the thing is, we believe Rob Lucci is a threat because what he does to the crew during the arc, yes?
Yeah.
We don't believe Buggy or Kuro, or even, well, Buggy or Kuro are not real threats because they're not built up long enough in the arc to be a real threat to the crew.
They don't really
but at the same token, there's not enough time for them.
They're very short arcs.
They're short arcs. They're quick. Oda's just trying to get
the crew together.
Get the crew together, get his viewpoint across, and to kind of build the world and the crew and what Luffy's goal is and what that means.
Yeah.
The villains suffer and the fights suffer through these actions.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, the arcs aren't long enough to get a real sense of threat from the villains.
Yeah.
But you don't want them to be long arcs.
Yeah.
Then he goes, all right, I'm going to make this villain interesting, but kind of fleshes him out in his plot against, the friendlies,
Yeah.
but doesn't flesh out his character in an interesting enough way for us to get excited.
Yeah, definitely.
And then through this experimentation via the arcs, Buggy too short, Kura too long. Buggy was interesting, Kura wasn't. He figures it out, and we end up with Arlong, and then from there we're pretty good with villains.
Mm-hmm.
So Christian, what are your thoughts on these first 5 volumes?
Here's the thing.
Yes.
Here's the major question I want to ask in this part of the review. If One Piece was in Weekly Shonen Jump, came out 2017, would it have gotten cancelled?
It would be very, very different than what it is now.
Yeah.
In this climate,
it will not survive in this climate.
It would not survive. Oda needed hype pieces right away, and he starts fleshing out danger in Baratie with Mihawk, and he starts to build the lore and his combat strengths.
Let me give you an example, right? The first 3 chapters of The Promised Neverland, you get all the character introductions. Who are the main players? You get world building and you get the major threat. And you get a little bit of repercussions. First 3 chapters get you in straight away, tells you about the world, tells you what you need to know, and you can get into the plot. First arc's pretty long.
Yeah.
No, it's 20 chapters. That's not 20. It's about 10 chapters. It's pretty long for a first arc. So, a lot of cerebral stuff going on there. So, in this day and age, Shonen Jump, you need a really big hook at the start.
Yeah.
You need things happening, lots of hype, lots of big events. You can't just live off what Oda was doing, a nice slow adventure story.
Slow adventure, nice characters, big expressions.
Maybe the comedy might have got him through.
The comedy's good.
Maybe the comedy, because comedy lasts in Shonen. If you do comedy well in Shonen Jump, you get picked up. So maybe the comedy would have brought him through, but
it would have to be very different in this climate right now. Which
I don't think it would survive.
Which
if it came out today,
creates issues for the future of Shueisha, you'd say?
Because they're not willing to invest in stories. Right? They want the big hits, they want
it now.
They want the 40 chapter series end.
Yeah.
They don't want the 900 chapter series long game stuff because they have One Piece.
I don't think One Piece will ever happen again, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. You're never going to have the big 3.
The climate's too hostile at the moment.
Maybe My Hero can make it to 500.
That's my thing with My Hero. Like, I've got a reputation on this.
The world's too small to have it last 900 chapters.
Unless it goes... It expands real quick. Like, multiple countries, world conflict.
No, because All Might's the greatest hero.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. The scope is not that big.
They blew their load too fast.
Yes.
So the story's not going to last that long.
And that's what I'm saying on My Hero, you know.
But
it's okay. It's middle of the road, and it's pretty standard.
Do you want another story lasting this long?
Christian, you get invested because you
I know, but is there enough room for 2 of those?
Sure.
I mean, you got Hunter x Hunter running, but it's in a weird situation.
Yeah. To your point, if One Piece was here in 2017...
Or 2018.
2018, it'd be difficult for it to get picked up. I
don't know if it would last.
Yeah. It would need to accelerate
the pace. Yeah.
But then again, these arcs are quick. It's not like the pace is a problem. It's like the context.
In Shonen Jump these days, you get 5 chapters and then you're out.
Yeah, but the context of what's happening is a problem. It's very small.
I don't know what they're doing.
But it's what I enjoyed about these 5 volumes, Christian, when reading it is reminding me of the smaller times when it was just Luffy trying to figure out things on the sea, and it was about him on his journey instead of who fights who, these wars that are gonna happen, the world-ending conflict. Luffy's gonna be the pirate king. How does Luffy take out this opponent?
Wano's gonna save the series.
What it reminded me is this is about the journey.
You get that feeling
Yeah.
until the end of Skype here.
Yeah.
And then the story becomes more about characters than the journey. You know what I mean?
it's
but
refreshing.
you still
It's
get
refreshing to
journey.
go back and reread it. I suggest people reread it, definitely.
Yeah.
Just to get an idea of what the series is about. Kuro's rough, but I'd say the best part about Syrup Village is Usopp's character.
We didn't really talk about it much, but, you know, he really does care about those kids. He doesn't want to get them into danger.
Yeah.
You know, he's a good guy.
Usopp's character is the shining light in this arc.
He entertains Kaya, who's lonely
Yeah.
and
And
sick.
you get attached to him because he's, he lies a lot, but he's like a good guy at the end. Like, he's got a good heart.
He's got like a heart of gold, you know.
So, Christian, yeah, volume 5 volumes.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say? Do you Otis style? Do you feel like right now we've been talking about this for a while. You know, what any final thoughts? What do you want to say about it?
I would say
I'd say the amount of effort he takes and the time he takes in developing his main characters
it's worth it.
is a breath of fresh air in this modern era.
Yeah.
Where
It's a
every character's an archetype.
It's a symptom of the current climate in Shoeisha.
Okay.
That's what it is, man. Like it's a climate that it's a very, you know, you get 5 chapters. If you're not performing, you're out. So you gotta appeal to those sensibilities.
And he's already explaining what it means to be a pirate and not really giving cliche answers 5 volumes deep, which is impressive to me.
Yep.
It tells me that he's not going for the quick answers, he's going for the right answers. And building a story instead of building a product, I'd say.
I think that's fair, man. It's because I don't want Shueisha to be like this. I want Shueisha to give stories the chance they need to build worlds, build characters, so we care about them, so we're interested.
Oda's skill at building scope slowly
Unsurpassed.
is very good.
Unsurpassed.
Very, very, very good. He unravels the scope slowly but surely.
That's the thing, right? You need to start small and then get big. You can't start big and then get even bigger and then get to ridiculous levels.
Yeah.
And then you get Kaguya. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Christian, how strong is Shanks?
Every week,
Yes.
we come to you
Indeed.
with the word of Shanks.
The holy word.
We also come to you with the question. How strong is Shanks? And we answer every week. Shanks is the strongest. Shanks is the God King. But, you know, there are people out there
Yes.
who don't think this.
Filthy individuals.
Who think, you know, Kaido's the strongest. Dragon's the strongest. And every week, I bring evidence to the table.
Yep.
100% factual evidence.
Factual, he says.
To prove to the non-believers that Shanks is indeed the God King and indeed the strongest.
Yes.
This week's evidence is a good one. Shanks is so strong, he can play in the fire and the flames in Guitar Hero on expert difficulty with one hand.
Yes.
Proving not only is he the god of combat, but also the god of useless skills.
Yes.
Because he is the God King of the verse.
Okay.
He is the god of everything. He is the best at everything.
Very specific reference this week, Christian.
Very specific because it proves the point.
Yes.
He is the god of everything.
Okay.
Shanks is the strongest. Shanks
Shanks
is the God King. That's it. Moving on.
Christian, what's next?
Topic of the show: freedom and Oda's thoughts on it.
Let's get into it. Now, Christian, you've written this manifesto,
670 words.
which is nothing
There's nothing.
in perspective.
Alabasta Arc review. 2,700 words.
Yes, very long.
No.
Question.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Let's go.
I'm going to start from a very specific moment.
Yeah.
Which I think explains Oda's thoughts on freedom at the start of the series.
Okay.
Okay. Luffy starts off not liking Kobe
Yep.
because he is afraid of freedom. He fears the unknown as he is stuck because of it.
Yep.
He's stuck in his own fear. He doesn't want to be free because of the repercussions. He is stuck. Right? Mm-hmm. He won't stand up for himself. He is afraid of consequences. You know? Afraid to be free. Luffy states, "If I die, at least I tried."
Yes.
Very important. Alright? He died being free. Live dangerously or die
Trying.
or die afraid.
Yes.
Having the will to chase your dreams is a massive component in One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom has to be wanted to be a worthwhile person in Luffy's eyes. People who are paralyzed by fear are worthless and annoy Luffy. Kobe. Shirahoshi. Wikahu. He's annoyed at Shirahoshi.
Yeah.
Luffy only decides to help Kobe after he makes his declaration that he wants to be a Marine. After he gets his own will that he wants to escape Alvida.
Okay.
He asks him for help. He has the will to be free. Alright. You don't have to be strong in Luffy's eyes. You have to be, worthwhile in his eyes that you are willing to be free.
Yeah.
You have to be mentally free to be a worthwhile character in Luffy's eyes.
Okay.
You can't be stuck in a scared situation like Kobe was. He gets very annoyed at this. You have to be willing to risk something.
Is that why it goes after Sanji?
Yes. Right? Because we know Sanji is trying to help the crew. He knows Sanji's true feelings.
Mm.
True feelings is to go back to the Sunny. That's his true
Freedom.
will. His true freedom is there. Luffy knows that.
Yeah.
Luffy knows Sanji very well.
Okay.
Sanji's problem is that he's too self-sacrificial.
Yeah.
He doesn't value himself enough to think that, his life is valuable to the crew.
Continue.
But he knows that Luffy, he knows that he wants to be on the crew, he wants to be free with Luffy.
Okay.
If you stand for nothing, are you worth anything?
Okay.
I think that's the question this asks. Mm. Any comments on the first paragraph?
If you stand for nothing...
Are you worth anything?
Luffy is... We know he's a man about freedom. He wants to be the freest man on the seas.
Exactly.
He wants to do what he wants to do what he wants to do. Mm-hmm. And if he dies, so be it. I have a few issues with Robin when you say that Luffy wants people on his crew.
He likes people who are mentally free.
Yes, Robin is far from mentally free for a few arcs, but he's trying to save Robin. So
debatable. She has her own desires.
Yes.
Does she not? She wants to research taboo material.
But she's not mentally free to be a part of the crew and to be free enough to join the crew. She's always trying to get the crew off.
She has the same issue with Sanji. But she doesn't value herself.
But she's also shackled by the past, which does not make her mentally free.
She's at least mentally free enough to have her own dreams. Yeah. She has her own will, right?
Perhaps the comment should be, you have to have the will to chase after what you want.
Yeah, you have to be...
Not specifically mentally free, because I don't think Robin...
fits that bill.
Is mentally free, and Usopp is not specifically mentally free.
Usopp overcomes his fears one after the other constantly.
He does, but he's not free.
He is
mentally.
does he not go on the adventure?
He does, but
Does he not have his own? Does he faces danger constantly?
I don't think the statement is true that Luffy only values mental freedom or freedom
No,
in general.
he wants people to have a will,
Yes.
to have the freedom to have a dream.
I don't think freedom's the right word. I think it's the will to chase a dream.
It's the same thing. You can't be.
It's
Luffy doesn't like people
slightly
who
different.
Are, who are
It's
stuck
slightly
by fear.
different.
Luffy doesn't like people who are trapped with fear.
Yes,
We know this. I know just saying that.
but he
You have to have at least some hope, some glimmer that things can be different. For Luffy to help you to be interested.
and Luffy can sense these emotions in people.
Exactly.
Is that why he goes after saves Robin?
No, he knows Robin has a good heart.
Yeah,
Gives him the antidote. Saves him.
she's a good person.
She's a good person. He trusts her. He feels that he can trust her.
Okay.
It's a more instinctual thing with Luffy. And we know Robin is... She cares for the Straw Hats. She doesn't want them to die.
Yeah.
That's why she sacrifices herself. It's more of a self-worth thing than a mentally free thing. Because she's doing the most
I think
taboo thing in the world.
I think I'm getting hung up on the specific
word. Okay.
word of mentally free because that's not a few characters on the crew.
I would argue that it is, but
Okay.
what I mean by mentally free, I've said this a couple times, is that you have to have a will,
Yeah,
a will of your own dreams.
I agree on that on the definition you provide.
Yeah.
But I don't think mentally free is the correct terminology. But continue.
Oda makes no illusion that freedom is dangerous,
Yes.
and that is the highest value worth pursuing. Luffy is constantly challenged by villains on this point.
Yeah.
Arlong enjoys taking away Nami's freedom because of the prejudices he has felt and the things that happened to him in the past.
Yes.
Arlong perpetuates the cycle of oppression, right?
Okay.
However, he believes that the world is only power. Only power matters. So he perpetuates his own worldview.
Yeah.
He can't be contradictory in his own worldview, even though the things that happened to him. He believes the world is only power, so the powerful have to rule.
Yeah.
And he enjoys that.
Okay.
Luffy only decides to help the village after Nami and the village decide to stand up, have the spark of rebellion against the dictator, to stand up against the oppression, the fear of what might happen if Arlong comes in, to stand up for themselves, to again be free enough to acknowledge that things can change.
Yeah.
Then Luffy helps. He beats Arlong with a physical force, proving that you must fight for freedom. You can't just talk about freedom. You have to show that your ideas are better than others physically. So freedom is dangerous, right? Freedom's dangerous.
Yes.
Alright, freedom was obtained by violence. Freedom should never be conflated with safety. Safety is a form of oppression. Letting your mind and body be trapped, right? Because you're safe.
Yeah.
From threats because it is safe to do so. It's a very obvious thing that Oda's trying to sort of get rid of in One Piece.
Okay.
The safe people are normally the people who, are oppressed. The people of Nami's town. They're safe. Arlong doesn't attack them as long as they obey Arlong.
Yeah.
But freedom is dangerous.
Okay.
Freedom involves violence.
Yeah.
To be free, there has to be consequences to that, right?
Okay.
So the final point of this paragraph is live free and take the consequences head on for that freedom.
Yes.
Comments.
I agree on the final statement that sums up the paragraph.
Yeah.
Live free
and take the consequences of that
and
head on.
face the consequences of that freedom.
Yeah.
And Luffy encounters that consequence of being free all the time.
All the time.
And the characters on the crew don't necessarily share that view, such as Nami, Usopp, Chopper.
But we're talking about
Yes.
you can't have every character be the same.
Yeah, I'm just throwing that point out there just to... It's not really an attack on the point.
But at the end of they act like that. But at the end of the day, they're there to fight.
Yeah.
They're there to prove Luffy's point.
I agree on the overall point.
Yeah.
Am I convinced that Oda's telling his audience to physically challenge oppression? I'm not sure.
To at least challenge it.
Yeah,
right?
to at least challenge it.
challenge
I'm not convinced
Challenge
that
it.
he's going be physically aggressive towards
I think he's trying to say freedom has
oppression.
consequences.
Yes, I think that's the overall.
I've just explained it through the fights because that's what happens. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Also, it's a
It's a
battle.
shonen
It's a
battle
battle
series.
shonen. Fights have to happen.
It's a way to explain it.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Oda advocates freedom, but he does not advocate morally corrupt freedom.
Yes.
Oda is saying freedom comes with a responsibility. Sure, having freedom to kill whoever you want is still freedom,
Yes.
but it takes away freedom from another person you just killed,
Okay.
thus making it a corrupt version of freedom.
Yep.
A balance of personal freedom and acknowledging the freedom of others is the backbone of One Piece. Right?
Yes.
Doflamingo is using his freedom to dominate the people, right?
Yep.
Sure, he is free to do so, but he uses his own freedom to remove the freedom of others.
Yep.
Right? On the other hand, Luffy never does this.
Yes.
Luffy only takes the freedom away from characters who are taking freedom away.
Yes.
Doflamingo, Crocodile, those type of characters.
Okay.
They're evil, they're taking freedom away from characters. Luffy beats them in a fight, they go to prison. They're locked away from the world because they have corrupted the ideas of things. They have corrupted the moral fabric
Of freedom.
of freedom.
Yeah.
So this brings me to these fights are interesting, right? All right. So Luffy also fights people who are morally grey.
Yes.
Take for example Katakuri, right?
Okay.
From Katakuri's perspective, right? He's in the moral right. From his perspective, Luffy came into his territory,
Yeah.
messed up his family, you know. Mm-hmm. Even though, from his perspective, Sanji came willingly.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be an issue here,
Okay.
right? He threatened to kill his mother and terrorize the people of his nation by blowing up the castle.
Yes.
From Katakuri's perspective, he is justified in finding Luffy and wanted to kill him.
Indeed.
But from Luffy's perspective, he's trying to save a crewmate who was brought to a marriage by force, taking away Sanji's freedom, and the man who stands in his way is trying to kill his own crew.
Yes.
Right? During the fight, they come to an understanding. Mm-hmm. They're both men of upright moral standing.
Yeah.
They're both men trying to do the right thing. So the fight is not about who's right. It's about exploring the character dynamic.
Yeah.
So this is why Luffy doesn't pummel Katakuri into the ground. Because it's not a moral victory.
Yes.
Right? It's more of a clash of wills. Who has the stronger will to stand up for their ideal the most?
Okay.
Katakuri, in his eyes, he's doing the right thing, and in the viewer's eyes, he's doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. We also agree with Luffy. So this is an argument of who has the stronger will to move forward.
And this is why the fight is so even at the end.
And this is why the fight is so great.
And such a struggle for both characters.
Notice how Katakuri isn't imprisoned, isn't taken out of the story.
Yes.
He's allowed to continue in the story because he's not a morally bad person.
Yes.
We assume he's allowed to continue in the story.
Yeah.
Alright, so we could also say this about Rob Lucci, right? From his perspective, he's trying to put the person who could possibly destroy the world in jail.
Yep.
The person who is studying the ancient texts that could lead to the world's end.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to do the thing for justice. He's trying to do his job. Luffy's trying to save one of his crewmates. Lucci's allowed to act in the world after that fight's done.
Yep.
He's not thrown in prison. He's not kicked out of the CP. He's actually promoted.
Yep.
So Oda's trying to say, if you have some sort of moral grey area, maybe you don't deserve the same repercussions as people as evil.
Perhaps.
As Crocodile and Doflamingo.
I'm not happy with the Rob Lucci comparison.
Well, it's...
that you made a category, because Rob Lucci is a weapon byproduct of the power that governs the world. Not specifically his own ideals.
But to a certain degree, you could argue that he's right.
He is right. He is right in his actions. He's not right in his mentality and the way he goes about those actions.
But, think about it this way, right? We have we have, special ops in our world.
Yep.
They take out Bin Laden. They're all about doing the thing that they need to do for justice. They are weapons of the state.
Yeah, but
are these people wrong?
If you have a bloodthirsty sergeant, you'd be worried.
You would be worried, but if he gets his job done, he gets the job done.
I mean, his mantra is dark justice. It's a little bit villainous, but the point is made.
The point is he's not Doflamingo. He doesn't go out of his way to oppress people and hold them down.
He does what he's told by
He does what he's told.
He does his job to a T, therefore can be...
He kills people who he is told to kill. So people who are a threat to the world.
And weak people. They can't get the job done.
They can't get the job done.
We see in his flashback.
We kind of see that, yeah.
Perhaps Rob Lucci isn't the best example because he's more of a
I'm just trying to get more than one
character.
example in there. Yeah. It's a complicated thing.
Yeah.
So, also, Oda's also saying people are allowed to change. Showing character growth.
Yep.
We got people like Bellamy. He's allowed to come back in the story because he's grown a little bit.
Yeah, he knows his role.
He's not gonna hold a grudge against Luffy.
Yeah.
He realized that the Skyline does exist. He's allowed to dream because he saw.
Yeah, he believes in.
He believes in the Skyline. He believes in hidden dreams. We got people like Crocodile who comes back in the story.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily growing, but he's not evil anymore. He's kind of just like grey.
Yeah.
After his defeat, he's not going directly against.
He's more of an anti-hero.
It's more of an anti-hero type character. Buggy comes back. All the villainous stuff just out the window with Buggy. He's just a comedy character now.
I mean, he wasn't really...
he was blowing up towns for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Threatening the lives of townsfolk.
Yeah.
So people are allowed to grow. In conclusion, I like how Oda is trying to say freedom is the highest value and should be aspired to.
Yeah.
Having no desires for freedom makes you weak. But having freedom comes with a responsibility not to abuse it to dominate others. And if you do that, you deserve to lose your right to freedom. That's my thoughts on freedom in One Piece.
The themes you brought up are accurate.
Yeah.
And true.
Mm-hmm.
Examples might be a little bit of an issue here and there.
Well,
but the theme, the overarching theme of One Piece is true. This is true. I get a little bit shaky when it's like Luffy needs to defeat specific people to be the Pirate King. It's kind of like he's just...
Well, it's about moral victories. Right?
Yeah, but before he even meets these characters such as Kaido and Big Mom, he's already got a target on their head because that's what he needs to do to achieve his dream.
But in the arc... it's shown that they're bad.
Yeah, in the arc, he is justified in his actions. But we also need specific structure in the story
He's
to
also
happen.
challenging the authority of the world.
Yeah.
So you could argue that point as well.
Yeah. But he is aiming for the top at the expense of these other people.
Yeah, because they're...
he hasn't really interacted with, but...
He kind of knows that they're bad because, the Emperors have a certain reputation.
Yeah.
He likes Shanks. He hates Blackbeard. for reasons that are understood. Maybe he's heard Legends of Kaido, what he's about. Big Mom, we know what she's about.
And this theme's also echoed in the character Aokiji.
Yeah, definitely.
Once his freedom has hit a point where he cannot accept it anymore, he leaves the Navy.
Once it's too much for him, he leaves. You know what I mean? With too much with the evil Navy, he's like, I can't fix this anymore. I'm leaving.
Yeah, I'm not going to be a part of this system.
Yeah.
Interesting thoughts, Christian. Correct thoughts. How do we think this is clearly going to happen in Wano? This theme will occur again with the oppressed people rising up against Kaido.
You could say that Luffy already has the motivations and the moral motivations to take down Kaido. Because of the Kazuki clan. He's already
because the Kazuki's already promised Momonosuke, etc., etc., the Minks and Jack.
Yeah. So he's already got motivation for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Interesting thoughts on Christian this week, people.
Because we always talk about how One Piece is about freedom, but we never explained it. Yeah. So I just thought we would explain.
Similar how I discussed combat mechanics for 25 minutes this episode.
Yeah.
We just need to explain it.
Yeah.
Christian, is that all you have to say?
Yep.
Shall we move on to the next section?
The power scale.
Christian, the power scale.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. Is it me or you? First.
I think it's me.
Okay.
A very weird character this week.
Yep. What do you got? What do you got for me?
The man on Roger's crew.
Okay.
The doctor on Roger's crew.
Ah.
Crockers. How strong is Crockers?
Hard to say.
Throws spears, pulls in a giant squid.
Yes.
On Roger's crew.
And on Brooks' crew.
Yeah, helps Brooks' crew.
And on the Rumbus Pirates for a short amount.
For a short amount of time. Is Crockers strong? And how strong?
I enjoyed the spearfishing, the giant sea monster.
He is the guardian of the Grand Line. The start of the Grand Line. So he's come into contact with heaps of people and survived.
Yep.
He lugs around heavy shit all the time.
Do I see him challenging characters like Ryuma, Jabba, and Bluno?
No. I don't.
He's too old. He's not quick
He's
enough.
not explored enough.
Yeah, he's not... He might have the strength.
Luffy did say he looks strong.
Yes, he might have the strength to contend with these characters, but he might have the combat speed to combat with these characters. Thoughts on Mr. One, Paulie, Bonclay, Tashigi,
Duval.
Christian, if Tashigi is... That's post-time skip, so...
Crockers.
Do I see him beating Mr. One? Do I see him beating Paulie?
I do see him beating Arlong. I think he has the physical strength to beat Arlong.
Yeah.
Throwing massive spears, massive distances.
Spear would throwing a spear would
on
be
Roger's crew. Does that confirm Haki?
Yeah, for a short time. On the final voyage.
On the final voyage, but surely
he
was there during the Shiki attack.
So you think he beats Arlong?
I think he beats Arlong.
I think it's fair, just in the fact where he is in the story.
Yeah. He's kind of the first mentor character.
Ryuma, Jabba, and Bluno, no.
No. So...
Mr. One, no.
Duval? I think Duval's fair.
Bonclay,
Paulie?
Yeah. Paulie?
I think he does well against Paulie.
Does Crocus beat Tashigi post-time skip?
Now. That...
This is very speculatory
We've been
power
seeing-
scale
we've been-
on this
Well,
week.
he's not going to grow, so we can power scale him.
We barely know anything about the man.
Well, we can power scale him because he's not going to grow. I think he deserves. You know what?
I can't.
No.
I can't say low. I have to say low.
Lolo Crocus.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I think it would be a fight with Arlong.
Yeah.
It'd be a real fight.
I don't see him fucking around with like Paulie and Mr. One. And
Nah,
Paulie.
low tier. For Crocus.
Me. Caesar Clown.
Caesar Clown. Very interesting. Very
Gas fruit.
very interesting.
Hockey. No.
Unconfirmed. Zero Haki.
No hockey. Which is
Kind of a clown. As the name will suggest.
Yes.
One-shot Luffy by taking away the oxygen.
We're in this situation, again, we find ourselves.
Logia.
No Haki, Logia,
OP
very
Devil Fruit.
strong Devil Fruit.
Very strong Devil Fruit.
These characters are persistent.
He can cop a Haki hit from Luffy.
Yes.
Gong pistol. He cops it. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of a skirmish with Luffy in the factory.
Yep.
You know, he's using his gas sword.
Gas laser beam.
You know, Luffy's... It's a fight. It's not like
Poison,
it's not a fight.
gas.
Luffy doesn't dominate him at that point.
Yeah. Luffy does dominate him, though. I think
He does dominate him eventually.
Yes.
So...
I would argue that his final form, as it were, isn't that good.
It's worse, probably, because he's fat and can't move.
Yeah.
But the gas, he's a scientist. I think that comes into play with the gas fruit.
I think he can take out a pacifista with his laser swords and beams.
Yep. Surely he's stronger than Hody Jones.
Now we're looking at Hody Jones.
He could technically beat Hody Jones because of the Logia factor. But does that make him stronger than Hody Jones?
Water. From my man Hody Jones.
True, but he's gas.
And Grizzly Magnum. Do you think Hody Jones is outputting such a physically strong attack?
I mean, you could argue that he was done after the elephant gun. Hody.
Yeah.
The Gatling was just for Noah.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. But can Hody
dish out
a Grizzly Magnum punishment?
We don't really get a gauge.
I feel like he beats almost every middle character just based on his overpowered Devil Fruit.
Shit.
I back Brook in though.
I do back Brook in.
He doesn't need to breathe oxygen.
How are we gonna...
Difficult.
Here's the thing. Reason why Eneru is high mid-tier is because he has Haki.
Yeah.
Some sort of observation Haki.
Indeed.
He has a more devastating fruit than
Yeah, okay.
Caesar Clown.
Okay.
More range, definitely more range. More firepower, for sure.
We're in that situation where he doesn't deserve to be in high mid, but he's kind of a little bit better than mid.
I say
think.
mid. I say mid.
Does he beat Smoker?
But is he...
Smoker beats him.
Smoker beats him. He has Haki. Does he beat... He beats Monet. Surely.
Yeah.
Beats Monet.
Yeah, we're in this in-between section where we don't know.
I think we're going... Because high mid might be a little too high for him.
Yes.
No Haki, kind of a chump clown man.
Yeah.
Gets one shot by Grizzly Magnum. But, you know, Eneru gets one shot and he's in the high mid.
And Caesar's got a very overpowered Devil Fruit.
Accompanied with his science.
Yes, and his wit.
His wit. Very much so.
Hard to say.
Hard, a challenge. I think the main question is...
This is the question. Do we go low, high, mid? Or do we go middle,
low,
high?
mid? No. We're not getting into that nonsense.
But that's kind of the in-between where we're at.
Let's just go...
Would he be the highest of mid-tier? That's the question.
But he beats people like Kiros. Does he not? He beats people like
we're
Pedro.
talking about overall combat ability.
Overall combat ability. I think he has more overall combat ability. No, because Pedro's fast and he's got that lightning stuff.
How skilled would you say he is with his laser sword?
He kind of just swings it around wildly.
Yeah. He's not really...
He's not really a fighter.
He's not a combat savvy.
He's not... Yeah, okay, that's true.
I think because of his lack of combat ability...
His lack of combat savviness.
Yes.
Would you say?
Yeah.
He's a scientist. He's not a combatant.
I mean, he's like in martial arts training, as it were.
He's like in combat experience.
Yes.
Okay. Mid-tier.
Put him in mid.
Yeah.
He gets to mid just based on his Devil Fruit and his brain.
I mean, he can cop a little bit of punishment.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not much, but a little bit.
Harsh one for Caesar. If we had a tier between the two, he'd go in there.
But that's not how this system works.
But that's how it pans out. Christian, are you satisfied
I am.
this week?
Power scale. Low, Crocus. Middle, Caesar Cloud.
Christian, shall we go into the favourite section?
Question corner.
Let's go.
Let's hear from the people.
Christian question corner. People, you can put your questions in the comment section below. Twitter at TheRedforcePodcast.com. Before the show starts, about 8 hours early, on Eric Tolato on Twitter. And you can email the show at TheRedforcePodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Christian, first question.
Are we gonna get our man
Andre.
Andre's question?
Rob Bellucci and Luffy right now in the story.
If they were equal.
Yes.
I believe the question was. A rematch of the ages. Hagi and Rokishi styles. I want to see it. I'm excited to see it.
Now, based on the power scale, Christian, that we've already done Rob Bellucci post-time skip. Based
Indeed.
on speculation alone. And where do we put him?
Rob Lucci, high,
Low high.
low, high.
Based on speculation alone, Luffy is now escalated into the high tier. After the Katakuri fight,
Luffy's in the high tier.
Rob Lucci's CP0. Thoughts?
Well,
Your
the
thoughts?
question was,
Yeah.
if they're equal, what does Rob Lucci have? That's the question.
It has to be Rikishi and Haki.
The Rokishi Haki blows my mind.
Yes.
I want to see it. Observation Haki and the paper art.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Dodge any attack.
Yeah.
Observation Haki plus Soru. Dodge any attack.
Yeah. Plus Iron Body.
Armored plus Iron Body.
Now, is it the same technique?
Tank? No, it's not.
It might be in the same
No,
sphere.
it's not.
Cushion.
Tekai is the contraction of muscles
Okay.
to make the body harder. Haki is a magical force
Yes, of will.
of will. Haki plus Tekai tank any attack.
Okay.
Alfred Haki plus the 6 Pistol King.
You love Rob Lucci, I get it.
Destruction.
Okay.
I want to see it. I want to see this rematch so bad.
Just based on Rob Lucci, we've talked about this a little bit before,
Yep.
but you imagine he's
Well, it's his whole character.
got a massive power boost.
His whole character is about strength, and he lost the fight. So
Yeah.
what do you think he's going to do? He's going to train extremely hard.
Yes.
We know he has because he's in CP0.
And he should be about Luffy equal because they're about the same.
Because they
when
would have
fought.
trained the same amount.
Yeah.
So Rob Lucci
And there's,
could be
ladies and gentlemen,
a
there's
massive
Haki
danger.
Masters in CP, surely.
Surely. You got Garp in the Navy. You got people who know about Haki in the Navy.
Yeah.
It's not inconceivable that people are Haki Masters.
Okay.
I want to see it.
I think
So badly.
I think it'll be
The combination of Haki and Rikishi.
I
is
think Rob Lucci is
mind-blowing.
probably going to feature in every movie from now
Rob Lucci is the secret final boss.
on. Okay.
He is the guardian of the Celestial Dragons.
Interesting thought.
The CP are the guardians of the Celestial Dragons.
I'd like to see Rob Lucci try and take on a Gear 4 Luffy. That'd be interesting.
Is Rob Lucci the final villain for Zappo?
We don't need to get into these
But-
conversations right now.
If this fight will go down, it'll happen at end of series because Luffy's coming to destroy Marijoa somehow.
Unless, Rob Lucci's on Luffy's tail as a scuffle for some reason.
Well, we all know he's on the Rebel. It doesn't matter. Rob Lucci versus Luffy. I want to see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, like
Presence.
always, we have the plot point. We don't know where it fits in the story.
Will there be a rematch? Who knows? Probably not.
Shall we get to the first
Unfortunately-
question? Thank you for your question, Andre.
From Vimish. Long time.
Yes.
Listener. How could Brook eat without a stomach?
Now,
It's all about the soul, man. It's all about the soul.
yeah.
Feed the soul.
He also poops.
He also does poop.
Also drinks.
Also drinks.
There
So
you
it's about the soul. Soul can eat.
Yeah.
Soul can shit. That's how it's explained. That's how it is.
There we go.
From Henry Russell. Who would win? Shanks with no arms versus and Null and Kid. I'm throwing this out of court.
It's an L.
It's Shanks.
No, it's Shanks.
Shanks wins the fight.
Yeah. Shanks
Stupid
wins all
question.
fights. Shanks versus all other Yonko.
Shanks wins.
Goko.
You said Yonko. It's Emperor.
All other emperors, Shanks wins.
Shanks is the God King.
Shanks wins.
Shanks always wins.
Shanks wins with one pulse of Conqueror's
I
Haki.
can't believe this question was even asked.
Yes.
Kid.
People
And now-
also need to shut the fuck up about an L Kid. I'm tired of the debate.
Let's move on.
Yes.
From a man, Jose. Do you guys think there are more commanders in the Rev? Maybe those are the only 4 oceans, and there will be the Grand Line commanders.
No.
We know Dragon's not in the New World.
Specifically in the official viz, west, south, east, north.
Yep.
Not the blues.
They are captains in the official.
Yes.
But they'll never say to be
Yeah,
the
it
blues
never
anyway.
said the specifically east blue, north blue,
But
south
it's
blue.
kind of correlated.
Yes. And
You can make the argument.
I imagine the agents of the Grand Line are Zabo, Ivankov, Kuma,
And Dragon.
and Dragon.
But
Interesting thought there. There could be. I guarantee you, there's more players in the Rev.
maybe not. Well, there's goons.
There's Vice.
There's Hack's a player.
Hack's a player.
Here's the thing.
Inazuma.
Here's the thing. We saw the amount of seats at the table.
Yes.
And that fills all the gaps.
Yeah.
There are 5 seats. Zabo's on the floor. And there are 4 members that fill the rest.
Yeah.
So, are there more? Probably not.
You've got Elizabeth, etc., etc.
You have players there.
Yeah.
You got the common bucket people. You got players. So that's a question from Diego.
What?
How many O's?
Moshi Mosh. Moshiro Erickson.
Oh, it's your question. You better answer it.
Here's my question. Was Shanks one of the emperors when he was presented back in Fushura Village, the first village where Luffy's from?
Yep.
And if he was, why
Dude, Hayama didn't recognize him.
the bandit? Christian, was Shanks an
Such a
emperor?
hard question. Such a hard question.
My answer, rereading it, is no, he wasn't.
No, it wasn't. My theory behind this is he awakened his haki at that moment.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say we've seen how far Luffy has grown.
His haki bloomed in that moment. You might say.
No. What I'm going to say
You
is...
saw the haki.
Whatever. What I'm going to say is...
What
we've
you-
seen Luffy go on a 2-year journey.
Yep.
And his growth is massive. There's a
10-year
10-year time skip. And Shanks is an emperor. That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying Shanks unlocks haki at this point, which explains why he didn't use haki.
I mean, you could retroactively
That's what I'm
say
saying.
that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Oda might do that. That Luffy is the reason why Shanks unlocked this immense haki.
Okay. Now, the evidence for why he's not an emperor. He stays at Fuchsia Village for a year, using it as his base.
Yeah.
And he goes on voyages and comes back. Not in the Grand Line. Maybe in the Grand Line. We don't know where he goes.
Yeah.
But he goes back and forth here and there. And he heads north. That's all we know. Now, would an emperor stay in the East Blue for 1 year? No.
I doubt he was an emperor.
When we see Shanks, I imagine he's on his journey to become an emperor.
Yeah.
And he'll go on his journey throughout the 10 years. Now, would I like a spin-off manga showing Shanks' journey in those 10 years?
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
From my man, Vamish again.
Yes.
Where was Big Mom's giant friend when she ate all her friends? Doesn't she live in the lamp house? No.
No, this is
Oh,
Garth.
How the fuck you pronounce it?
She did not travel with Mother Caramel after they relocated.
Yeah. That's an easy question to answer. She's not an orphan.
And she's a part of the Grand Fleet under Hydruden's flag. There we go.
That's all the questions this week.
No, is it?
Yeah. That's all I see.
Okay.
Alright. End of the show.
Yes. Christian, interesting week this week.
Surprise, no chapter.
You know what I feel like? I feel like there's no chapter because the speculation is that Oda was rushed, Shueisha was rushed, and the chapter got delayed.
The scheduling was rushed. Who knows what happened? No one knows what happened.
The theory is because My Hero wasn't done. Clearly.
Yeah, last week My Hero was not done.
Yes.
So there's
That's a speculation. I have a feeling that we'll get next chapter and there'll be a nice little One Piece is on break sticker on it. That's what I feel like is going to happen.
It might happen, might not happen, who knows? But it could happen.
If that does happen, that will be the week of the scheduled guest.
Is that right?
Yes.
Is that locked in?
90%.
90% locked in.
I have confirmation, but I need to confirm on the
Again?
date. Yes.
Okay.
Very special guest. Indeed. Now, Christian. More of a cerebral...
So deconstruction.
Deconstruction of One Piece this week. We usually talk about hype and this and that. We go into themes in depth, but we went a little bit further this week.
My thoughts on might be a little bit controversial.
Yeah, I think they're relevant and true.
Might have
for the
taken it
most
a little
part.
too far, as I normally do.
Christian loves his political theology.
It's very interesting.
Yes,
I might be taking things a little too far, but
I think
at least I put it out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Christian, what's going on? What do you want to say? Do you
I
want to
say nothing. Don't do anything.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say. Of course, like, subscribe, share the video.
SoundCloud and iTunes, go to review it.
Is that going well?
It's going okay. People are using it, which is good. I put that out there for people's convenience. I know everyone, people listen to podcasts on the way to work. They listen to it at work, on the train. They don't necessarily have to see the YouTube video.
Yeah.
So it's on iTunes at RedForcePodcast on iTunes, and it's on SoundCloud via the same name.
If you don't want to see this shitty video quality,
yeah,
and only listen to audio, you can.
there we go. Make sure you use the comment section to ask questions. The same people commenting every week, which we appreciate. And we always appreciate those guys. But for the new people out there, feel free to leave a question. We'll answer it.
Well, is there any question?
And if you have a suggestion for the topic of the show, throw it in the comments. We might consider it at some
point. If you have any controversial questions,
yes.
You have any questions, we'll answer them.
Christian, you can follow me at Eric Talato on Twitter. Things are happening. Things are always happening.
Yep.
Anything else? I think that's about it.
That's it.
I don't know. Next week's chapter. You just quick thoughts on that?
Should be a big one.
We hope so.
Still in post-arc. Anything can happen.
No, 5, I believe.
Yes.
There we go.
Enjoy it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shanks is the God King.
Indeed.
Good night.
How long have we been going?
About an hour-ish.